Hi everybody, welcome to one of our Cadence tutorial videos here on the Highlight Crafts YouTube channel. In today's video, I'm going to be taking you through how to use and to get the best results with your Cadence wood burning gel medium. Now this one here for you is a 90mm pot. It's really easy to work with. Again, if you saw this on one of the shows, you'll have seen just how quick it was, but at the same time, of course, having this video as an educational reminder as to how to work with it is great. Now what we're going to be working on today is one of our wooden creative items. Now these are really easy to work with. Again, you can use household wooden items as well, such as lap trays, ornaments, decorative pieces from around your home, or maybe even something you've purchased and you want to create into a gift, maybe like a chopping board. Always make sure when you're working with this that there is no varnish or sealer or any top coat already applied to that wooden surface. Now, the reason for that is, for one, you need the Cadence wood burning gel to soak into the wood itself, and if there's something there creating a barrier, it's going to stop that from happening. But also at the same time, you don't want to be adding intense heat to anything that maybe isn't designed to be heated up. Also, it is worth mentioning that when you are using the wood burning gel, always make sure to double check that the wood that you're actually doing your wood burning technique on is safe for burning. In most cases it is. There is a few that it's not recommended for. So we suggest sometimes straying away from things like MDF because they are of course built with compressed fibres of wood and there's glues and other binders there to hold all of that together. So you're best on a raw wooden surface like today. I've got pine, easy one to work with. It's a soft wood and already again you get great results with those, but just double check whatever it is you're working with. So what we're going to do first is with our wood burning gel, you don't need any gloves or any protection when wearing it. All you need is a brush, maybe a stencil if you were going to do it through a design, and a palette of some sort to house your medium in. Anything that's unused can go back inside the bottle as well. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to put some inside this palette here. Okay, so a small amount is all that is required. It really goes a very long way. And again, any that isn't used from this section can go straight back inside the bottle. It is a water-based medium, and it's fascinating to think that what you're using is quite literally medium designed to create a pyrography image. So think about going through stencils, think about using a brush and painting with the wood burning gel. Do whatever you want to with it. But of course you need one of these, okay? So you need a heat gun, okay? This one that I've got actually to hand at the moment, it's got two heat settings on. I'm gonna use it on its highest heat setting that it has. A hairdryer won't be sufficient, that will not get hot enough. You need to have a heat gun. If you've got a tool like a heat tool that you use for your crafting, such as your embossing powders, that will work. It needs to be from 180 to 200 degrees temperature to actually create the effect. So you can imagine how hot that actually is, and a hairdryer gets nowhere near that for obvious reasons. We don't want to burn ourselves. So always be cautious when you're using a heat gun with this process. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to use some of my Cadence stencil spray, and I'm actually going to put some adhesive on the back of my stencil. So let's have a look. I'm going to use, this one here, one of our florals from Craftmaster. I'm going to put some stencil spray on the back, so I'm just going to hold it to my side whilst I do so. Okay, so a light spritz all the way around our stencil. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to work on this top edge here. Okay, so I'm just going to put my stencil anywhere at all. This could be anything, any image that we want to work with. Okay, so this one here, at the moment what I'm doing is I'm stenciling onto the bottom, but I've already done one here as well on the top. So we're going to do a little reveal as to how this is going to go, because when you apply your medium to the actual wooden surface, you want to leave it for about 5 to 10 minutes, okay? And in that 5 to 10 minutes, what's going to happen is your wood burning gel is going to actually soak into the grain of the wood. And you'll notice as well, after about 10 minutes, it will still look in some areas maybe a little bit wet, that's fine. That then is the opportunity and the point where you grab the heat gun. Now, also, this bit here that I've already stenciled, you can see a faint image of the previous stencil design that I used. And basically, that indicates where, of course, it is. But this one here is now bone dry. But if you'd done this yesterday and you wanted to do it, then 2 days' time you can. There's no time limit on when you have to burn it. So I did this one earlier on today whilst preparing for today's video. But then again, you could do it and then just do it straight after the 10 minutes or do it the following day. So don't worry, you're not on a time scale. You could get all of your mediums applied to all of your projects, then maybe use the heat tool again the following day or wherever you want to. So what I'm going to do now is take our stencil brush, just make sure it's nice and dry. I've used this one today already, so I'm just making sure there's no moisture left in the bristles, because of course we don't want to add anything additional to the medium that we're working with. So I'm going to pick up a bit of the wood burning gel, and then just take a bit of the excess off here in my palette. So picking up a little bit, taking a bit off. I'm using a stencil brush for this. You can use some of the Cadence cut and use foam. You can stamp it through the stencil, or you could drag it on the wood as well. You can also use a paintbrush. You could use a palette knife if you wanted to, but I would probably suggest using either a sponge or a brush to do it. You're going to get the best results. So what I'm going to do is swirl through our stencil, picking up medium as we go along, because remember this wood is thirsty, so it's going to soak in any moisture we apply to it. Okay, so soaking that moisture in, working all the way around our stencil design. Now, brush strokes aren't even a worry, okay? So if you can see you've got texture left over from the brush that you've used, don't worry about it, it's fine. I'm now just going to go around with my stipple brush, just like this, and just take away any lumps or bumps or maybe any areas within the grooves of the stencil where the medium has built up, okay? Then all we do is, see how little I've used? I've hardly used any. That can go back inside the bottle. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to set my palette now and my brush to one side. And then I'm going to remove my stencil like that. Now this can be washed straight away. Just drain safe down the sink, give that a wash. And now you want to leave this project now to dry for around about 5 to 10 minutes. Now some of them will take longer than others to dry depending on the wood itself. If it's a very hard wood, it may take longer to soak into the surface, but with this being a very light porous wood, I'm pretty confident within at least 5 minutes you're going to end up with this, which is nice and bone dry. Now, what we want to do at this point is bring in our heat tool, and this is where the process happens. So for this process, we'll probably speed it up for the purpose of the video, because this will take us a couple of minutes to get the whole effect. So bring your heat gun to temperature. I'm not going to try and talk over the heat gun, of course, because we don't want to compete with one another, but I'm going to take it over the medium and show you exactly what happens. It is like magic. Now, as soon as you do start to see it burning, I did a little test in this corner here. As soon as you start to see it changing colour and burning, very gradually just move over to the next step. A little bit like if you were to use embossing powders with a stamp, the second you see it melt and shine, you move along. Do the same with this. So, I'm going to heat it up and get going. Now I've stopped at this point here to share with you that I've got deeper and darker pigmentation in the centre here. Now that's because I held my heat gun into the centre here for longer, creating a darker image. Now the longer you keep your heat gun in that area, you'll go from a light tan staining with the wood to a darker, more burnt pyrography effect. So it's completely up to you which way you want to take this. So I'm going to continue and we're going to see how the overall image turns out. So there you have it. So here is our wood effect burning gel from Cadence. It is fabulous. Now what I've done with this, and you could spend even more time if you wanted to, concentrating that heat directly over the top of the wood, but we've gone of course from our stencil design which we did moments ago, which is pretty much almost dry. I've got some areas of reflection still coming through, and then adding that heat tool to it, you've created that permanent surface here. Now you don't have to do anything else to this now, it is finished, but if you wanted to of course protect the wood, then this would be a good time to add maybe an aquastone varnish or a matte varnish from Cadence. But that there for you is the application. Now think as well about different images. I've got some ones here that I've made earlier with different stencil designs in there. This one here I've gone in with florals, and notice how it gives different tones on different types of wood. I've also got one here on a large treasure chest, again different style and design, and of course the project that we've just made here as well. You can also do this onto cardstocks, recommended maybe a 250 GSM plus, so it's a heavyweight card. The exact same process, just make sure not to scorch the card too much of course, but you'll notice that what actually happens is the wood burning gel itself absorbs that heat, gets much hotter than the surface, creating that wood burning effect. So that there is how to use your Cadence wood burning gel medium quickly, easily, and of course efficiently within your craft room or on any wooden surface you wish to create this effect. It's really exciting, it's really fun. Always be cautious when using your heat gun of course. Make sure you've got your glass mat. It is brilliant. Have fun with it and enjoy your Cadence. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye. If you want to see more from Highlight Crafts, make sure you click the like button, subscribe by clicking the subscribe button below, and click the bell icon to receive notification of all our future content. You can also click here to see our latest video, or click here to see more videos like this one.